Do you enjoy watching self-improvement videos? Most people, especially men, consume endless self-improvement content, hoping that someday it will bring about a change in their lives. The reality, though, is often disappointing. Watching video after video, reading article after article, many find themselves trapped in a cycle of consuming content, rather than taking action. It's a bit like a mental illusion, comforting thought that by watching you're improving, yet the impact is minimal. This repetitive cycle of consuming self-improvement content, without actual application or change, is similar to what some call a form of mental masturbation. You're creating a sense of progress without making any real strides forward, just like someone who endlessly prepares without actually starting. This form of passive consumption does little to transform one's life. Instead of self-improvement, consider self-destruction, not in a literal or harmful sense, but as a tool to break down your existing mental and emotional barriers. This idea may sound radical, but it's crucial to understand that true growth requires a fundamental shift in identity and mindset. You have to dismantle the old, limited version of yourself to build a new foundation. Many people attempt self-improvement on top of shaky foundations, but eventually, those attempts crumble because they haven't dealt with the root cause. Self-destruction is about identifying and breaking down limiting beliefs, false identities, and social conditioning. Without clearing these old blocks, any new improvement will just be a temporary layer on an unstable core. The journey to meaningful change begins with the destruction of these outdated ideas and beliefs. When we talk about self-destruction, it might sound extreme or negative, but in this context, it's a constructive process. This self-destruction doesn't mean harming yourself or doing something reckless. Instead, it's about destroying your old identity, your outdated self-image, and the limiting beliefs that have held you back for so long. The person you are today is often a result of societal conditioning, outdated lessons, and perhaps even some well-meaning but flawed teachings from childhood. Every time you seek self-improvement, without addressing these core issues, you end up reinforcing them. A house with a weak foundation can't withstand new layers being added. It's bound to collapse under its own weight. Self-destruction is the critical first step, allowing you to strip away all the non-essential parts of your identity, leaving you with a clean slate on which to rebuild. Think of self-destruction as a reset button, giving you the opportunity to redefine your beliefs, values, and goals when you take on new challenges. You must also confront and dismantle the beliefs that tell you it's impossible or that you're not good enough. For instance, when I became a YouTuber, I had to shed the belief that I was too old to start. Similarly, in my business journey, I had to dismantle a mindset that kept me from financial growth. And as a parent, I had to let go of childhood traumas to become a healthier role model. Each time I've learned that growth demands breaking down old barriers and mental frameworks. It's a constant process of undoing, of destroying beliefs that don't serve you. Only by removing these blocks can you truly create a foundation solid enough to support new growth and success. You might have noticed a pattern. Real change requires a process of destruction before you can rebuild, no matter what you aim to achieve. Whether it's a new career, a healthier lifestyle, or improved relationships, you have to break down existing unhelpful habits and mindsets before creating new ones. Every successful endeavor I've embarked on began with the decision to tear down the old, outdated aspects of myself, just as an athlete strengthens by pushing past limits and breaking down muscle fibers. Your journey to personal growth starts with a commitment to destroy what's no longer beneficial. Think of this process as clearing a field of weeds before planting new seeds. Unless you eliminate what's stifling growth, new changes won't take root. Destruction allows you to create space for rebirth. When you want to build a life that aligns with your true potential, it's essential to strip away all that isn't serving you. This is the step that most people skip, which is why they often fall back into old patterns. Just adding new habits, without challenging the core beliefs and limitations, is like building on quicksand. Eventually, it'll all sink. Think about it this way: without an intentional phase of clearing away limiting beliefs and habits, each attempt at self-improvement is likely to fail. By embracing the concept of self-destruction, you can finally pave the way for growth that is lasting and profound. The first step in this process of self-destruction is self-awareness. This isn't about being hard on yourself or fixating on faults. Rather, it's about gaining a clear and honest view of the beliefs that have been shaping your decisions. Most of these beliefs have been with you for years, quietly influencing your choices without you even realizing it. For example, consider your beliefs about money. You might view certain expenses like flying business class as wasteful. But have you ever questioned why you feel this way? The idea of something being too expensive or not worth it is often a subjective belief, shaped by your background, family, or social circle. Developing self-awareness involves identifying these beliefs, understanding where they come from, and examining if they genuinely serve you. Once you start questioning these deeply rooted beliefs, you'll realize that many are not based on objective facts, but are merely perspectives imposed on you by others. Using money as an example, many people grow up thinking certain things are beyond their reach or unnecessary luxuries. Yet there are millions who view these same items as normal, even essential. This shift in perspective highlights that our beliefs are malleable and often arbitrary. By realizing that terms like expensive or wasteful or subjective, you can begin to dismantle these limiting beliefs. This self-awareness exercise is the first step in self-destruction because it reveals what needs to change. By becoming aware, you empower yourself to consciously choose beliefs that support rather than hinder your growth. Once you've developed self-awareness, it's time for the second step, actual destruction of the limiting beliefs that you've identified. This isn't easy because these beliefs may have been part of your identity for years, possibly even decades. Imagine holding on to ideas or beliefs that were passed down through generations, never questioned. But holding on to these beliefs is like clinging to a heavy anchor while trying to swim to the surface. To progress, you must be willing to let them go. No matter how attached you are, the process of destruction means examining these beliefs, admitting that they were wrong or that they no longer serve you, and then intentionally releasing them. This can be a difficult process because it challenges your ego. Admitting you were wrong or misled is a blow to anyone's pride, but it's essential if you're committed to growth. The power in this self-destruction lies in your ability to detach from outdated ideas and make room for new supportive beliefs. By letting go, you make space for a new mindset, one that aligns with your goals and potential. Just like an athlete who goes back to the basics to break bad habits and build new techniques, you too need to strip down to your core. Release the beliefs that no longer serve you, no matter how ingrained they are, to create a mental framework that supports your future success.